gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert's Sports Show, NFL Week 13 preview and picks. Obviously a day late getting video up. Normally I have it up on Tuesday or Wednesday, and it's now Wednesday night. It'll be up on Thursday morning. Just had some things going on, got delayed a little bit. I do want to say that there will be 5 videos, new videos up from wrestling to NFL to college football over the next day or two. I'm going to try to get them all done tonight and get them up. So we start off Thursday night, Thursday afternoon, Thanksgiving Day. Happy Thanksgiving to all my fans out there. Hopefully you have a safe holiday with your family. This is my Bentley. I know B Daddy J has the cat. I got a dog. He wanted in the video, which is kind of going to be fitting as we talk about the Monday night game. So y'all know where I'm going with that. The 5-6 Chicago Bears versus the 7-4 Detroit Lions. Thursday afternoon. Typically Detroit plays every Thanksgiving, so it's kind of a tradition. Detroit this year is 2-0 versus their division. They're favored by 7 at home. Seems like every Thursday game this year, the home team wins, including the hapless Raiders versus the Chiefs. I'm taking Detroit. Favored by 7, I'm taking that, and taking the under on the 47.5 points. I just think Jay Cutler, we don't know what Cutler we're going to get. Either we're getting Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, Mr. Interception, or Mr. Touchdown. Who are we getting? So I'm taking Detroit. We have the 8-3 Philadelphia Eagles versus the 8-3 Dallas Cowboys. Both of them are tied for the NFC East lead, so we got a battle of the division here. Obviously, the winner of this will be in the division. Kind of interesting note, it's at Dallas, but away from Dallas, the Cowboys are 5-0, and at home, Philly is 6-0. But yet, they're just the opposite. You know, at home this year, Dallas is 3-3, so all their losses have came on the road. Same with Philly, they're 2-3 away from Philly. So you got a 2-3 versus a 3-3. So we'll see what happens. You know, obviously running game in this game with DeMarco Murray and LaShawn McCoy, and then you got Mark Sanchez starting. We know how bad he was toward the end there in New York. He's done all right so far. Obviously, Philly's still leading. They're still right there for the division. My pick's going to be Dallas, obviously, because they're at home 1 and 2. I just think the Cowboys, for whatever reason, this year almost figured it out. That defense hasn't figured shit out. They're as bad as they were last year. But since DeMarco Murray's, controlling the clock for him and the play action's working for him, Dez Bryant is having a good year. So I'm thinking Dallas is going to win this on Thanksgiving at home. In the late game, we have the 7-4 Seattle Seahawks versus the 7-4 San Francisco 49ers. Obviously, this is a big NFC West matchup. Typically, you would think these two teams at 7-4 would be leading the division. Not this year. Past years that would be for the division. It's not this year. We have the Giants favored by 1, so it's basically a push. They're only favored because they're at home. I am taking I am taking the 49ers to win this. Taking the under on the 41 points. So on Sunday, we have the 3-8 Washington Redskins versus the 7-4 AFC South leading Indianapolis Colts. Washington just recently, I guess it was announced either yesterday or today, that they have quarterback change. RG3 will put on the bench for Colt McCoy. I understand what they're doing here. They want to see what they have in Colt McCoy. We know how horrible RG3's been, but is it really RG3's fault that he's been sacked, 5 times or more in 5 of the last 7 games? So it's like that offensive line has been garbage. Obviously, when you trade 2 first-round picks, 2 or 3 first-round draft picks and a second-round draft pick for 1 pick to get a guy like an RG3, you don't help the rest of your team. And it's been garbage. So I got the Colts winning this. They're favored by 10. I'm taking them at home by 10. The over-under is 51.5 on the points. I'm taking the under. So I got Colts to win at home. We have the 2-9 Tennessee Titans, losers of 5 straight, versus the 5-6 Houston Texans. Hey, it's the battle of former Houston versus Houston. Obviously the Tennessee Titans used to be the Houston Oilers. They moved to Tennessee. Houston Texans are favored by 6. Taking them to win with the under on the 43 points. We have the 7-4 AFC North tie because everybody's 7-4 in that division. Cleveland Browns versus the 6-5 Buffalo Bills. Obviously, this is a big AFC playoff contender match. Like I said, everybody in the AFC North is. I think the Bengals are 7-3-1. Everybody else in the division is 7-4. So they, kind of got the one-game tiebreaker over Buffalo Bills for the AFC 1 of 6 AFC playoff berth. I am actually taking Cleveland to win this. Buffalo is favored by 2.5, so I'm giving that to Cleveland. So Cleveland by 2.5. I'm taking the under on the 41 points. I just think coming off that 38-something win, 33 or something like that on Sunday night or Monday now, Buffalo having to travel to Detroit to play that game and then go back to Buffalo and deal with all that snow. If this game is in Buffalo, I think Cleveland will go in there and steal one. Brian Hoyer, wow, he's not lighting it on fire. He did have a couple interceptions last week, but he's managing the game well. They're 3 games above 500. It looks like they're going to make the playoffs for the first time in a long time. So I bet Cleveland fans are going, Johnny who? Because, Brian Hoyer's from Cleveland, so, he's a hometown boy, so hopefully this year continues for him, and then next year either he gets a big contract somewhere else, or Johnny who goes somewhere else and has either, I'm really hoping Johnny Football, I think is his nickname, I like Johnny who. Have Johnny who go somewhere else and have a good career, I'm all for that, but I like the fact that this hometown guy, Brian Hoyer, is everybody at the beginning of the year was like, it was almost like a bet of how when he loses the job to Johnny who, and now he's going to hopefully take him to the playoffs. It's amazing. They got Josh Gordon back last week. I forgot to mention that last week. He returned, had a stellar game. It's looking up for Cleveland. If they make the playoffs, I'd like to see them get a playoff win or two. I think that would really help Brian Hoyer and the whole franchise there in Cleveland. So Cleveland by 2.5. We got the AFC West tie for the division lead. San Diego Chargers at 7-4 versus the 7-4 Baltimore Ravens. Another AFC championship or AFC playoff potential here. Got a lot of 7-4 teams in the AFC right now. The Chargers are 1 game out of the division lead, which is held by San Diego or held by Denver right now. They're tied with Kansas City. Another 7-4 team. Actually, Baltimore's favored by 5.5. I'm taking the Chargers. I don't know what it is with Philip Rivers this year. He's playing well. Just never been a big fan of the Ravens, especially with everything with Ray Rice. Obviously, it looks like they're better without Ray Rice. They should have done that a long time ago. But I'm taking San Diego to win. I'm taking by 5.5, and I'm taking the under on the 46 points. Next, we have the 3-8 losers of 6 straight New York Football Giants versus the 1-10 Jacksonville Jaguars. Because Jacksonville's so bad, New York is favored by 3. I just think Eli, he had a bad year last year with like 25, 30 interceptions. He's had a bunch of interceptions and turnovers this year. I think what Eli needs is to change the scenery. I think losing 6 straight so far, and I'm actually going to have them lose 7 straight. I'm picking Jacksonville to win this. I know Tom Coughlin and Eli together won 2 Super Bowls, but they need to freshen that up a little bit. I think Eli needs to go somewhere else, like a St. Louis or somewhere that has a good running game. That all he's got to do is manage the play action, manage the clock, and hand the ball off. So I like to see Eli get a shot somewhere else, and I got Jacksonville winning this. I'll give them 3 points. I'm taking the under on the 44.5. We have the 7-5-1 Cincinnati Bengals, leaders of the AFC North, versus the 7-3-1. I can't remember my handwriting. 7-3-1 Cincinnati Bengals versus the 2-9 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Cleveland's favored by 4. I'm taking them to win, and I'm taking the over on the 44 points. I'm thinking the Dolphins can put some points up there versus Tampa Bay. I know Tampa Bay, they did sack RG3 5 times, but that was the Washington offensive line. So I think Cincinnati's offensive line is just a snip better. We have the future battle of LA here. We have the last 2 former Los Angeles teams with the Oakland Raiders at 1-10 versus the 4-7 St. Louis Rams. So obviously the way it looks like next year or the year after, this will be the Battle of Los Angeles. We have the Rams favored by 7. The Rams team at 4-7. they'd have to almost win out to make the playoffs. They're probably not going to do that, but they might be able to get to 7 or 8 wins. 7 wins 2 years in a row from a franchise that had 3 wins in 5 years. Or, sorry, 5 wins in 3 years. Without Sam Bradford, 2 years in a row now, they're not built. A lot of teams aren't built to have their starting quarterback go down and have a backup. You know, Jeff Fisher, he's got that defense finally playing well. You know, Robert Quinn and Chris Long is back, and James Laurinaitis, and the secondary, you know, is pretty young still, but they picked up that guy from Tampa Bay earlier, and they've been playing well. I am taking St. Louis to win this because it is the Raiders. So St. Louis by 7. I'm taking the under on the 43 points. Hopefully, you know, Sean Hill's able to, you know, keep the ball, not turn it over, and hopefully that running game can get with Trey Mason can, you know, do like they did against Denver, score, you know, over 100 yards. So I got the Rams winning that. We have the 4-7 NFC South leading New Orleans Saints. I have a real problem with a three games under 500 team winning the division, and there will be a video, a way to fix that, coming up later on tonight, so it'll be one of the 5 that goes up. We have the 7-4 AFC North leading Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh is favored by 4. I'm taking them to win. Taking the under on the 53 points. I just think Drew Brees this year is not himself. Not sure what's going on there. And the Big Easy in New Orleans is just, I just really hate the fact that an under 500 team is leading the division. They're actually tied with the Atlanta Falcons, and that's how bad that division is then. Speaking of the NFC South, we have the 3-7-1 Carolina Panthers, losers of 5 straight, who is only a half game out of the division lead, versus the 4-7 Minnesota Vikings. Excuse me, Minnesota is favored by 2.5 at home. I'm taking Minnesota to win this. I'm taking the under on the 43 points. You know, here's a prime example. You got either New Orleans or Atlanta or Carolina. All 3 games or more under 500. Going to win the division. You got a 4-7 Minnesota Vikings team that's sitting there going, this is a bunch of shit. We got the same record, and I'm going home. You guys are in the playoffs. And as we know, back in 2010, when Seattle was 7-9 and made the playoffs, they won a home playoff game because the division gets to host the game. It's bullshit. I have a fix for that, and I'll get that video up. It's a topics video coming up, so hopefully you guys watch that too and see how my way to fix that. And I'm also going to fix college football. So that's going to be one hell of a video to watch. Alright, we have the 9-2 NFC West leading Arizona Cardinals versus the, like I said, the 4-7 Atlanta Falcons. I guess Bentley's out. He kind of knows that Monday night game's coming up and he don't want any part of it. Arizona's favored by 3 on the road. I'm taking them to win. I'm taking the over on the 44.5 points. We have the 9-2 AFC East leading 7 straight victories New England Patriots, going into Lambeau Field. This Sunday night game, or this Sunday afternoon game, they should change it. I cannot believe this is not a primetime game. 9-2 New England Patriots going into Lambeau. The NFC North leading 8-3 Green Bay Packers, who are 5-0 at home this year. And Aaron Rodgers has thrown 29 touchdowns at home without throwing an interception over 2 years. Remarkable. He's number 1 in that stat. Why they didn't do their flex schedule and put this in a primetime game, I'll never know. This is a Super Bowl. We'll jump on a limb there. This is a Super Bowl preview, I think, guys. Right here. Green Bay favored by 3 at home. I am not going against Tom Brady. The way he's been playing, he's been chucking 40 points up a game with Aaron Rodgers. This game's going to be a high-scoring shootout. Defenses go home because they ain't going to need them. Because it's going to be a big-scoring game. I'm taking Tom Brady, go in the Lambeau and beat Aaron Rodgers and go to 8 straight victories. So I'm taking New England to win. I'm taking the points at 3. So I'm going to stick with that. And then I'm taking the over on the 59 points because I think these 2 teams will just light the scoreboard up. So I got New England going into Green Bay and winning by more than 50 with 59. Taking the over on the 59 points. Sunday night we have the 8-3 Denver Broncos AFC West leaders versus the 7-4 Kansas City Chiefs. Now I see why this game is on Sunday night. This is another one of those big AFC West. The winner, you know, obviously if Kansas City ends up winning this, they'll be tied with Denver, and they got the tiebreaker against them. So I will take the Chiefs to win at home by 2.5. Denver's favored by 2.5, but I'll give it to Kansas City. I'm taking the over on the 50 points. I just think Peyton Manning, he will light the scoreboard up, throw some yards, but I think that Chiefs will win this. Monday night game. This is why Bentley walked away. Because there's one guy that's happy to see Michael Vick benched for Geno Smith. Bentley's happy to see that. Insert joke there. If you don't know why, look it up. We have the 6-5 Miami Dolphins versus the 2-9 hapless New York Jets. Miami's favored by 5.5. I'm taking them to win. I'm taking the under on the 42 because the Jets can't put points up. So I got Miami winning that. That will wrap up week 13 to the NFL season. Thanks for watching. As always, I'm your host, Robert. And Bentley, wherever you went, I guess you didn't want to hear about Michael Vick. A lot of people out there hate him. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the other videos I got going up. Hopefully enjoy the football, enjoy your Thanksgiving, and thanks for watching. Have a spiffy night.